Isolation protocol day 91. Wow, 91 days. And I've been out of this house so few times I can count it on one hand. Yeah. I don't count the times that I threw the dogs in the car and just drove around the neighborhood just to make sure that my car would keep running because I don't like it sitting there not doing anything. And yesterday yesterday? I don't even remember what day it is. Uh, Yeah, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday. Yeah, day before yesterday. Um, I was out doing some yard work and realized that there was a huge spider web that connected the extremely overgrown jasmine vines to the car. So figured it was probably time to throw the dogs in the car and take them for a ride again. So drove about a mile down the road, circled around a block a couple of times, and uh, came across a guy throwing explosives out of the window of a car and scared my dogs half to death. They were right there on me, which of course meant I couldn't drive, so I pulled over where what little I could see between the dogs, tried to calm them down. It took a long time, and my shoulder is killing me because Salisbury, of course, was standing on my shoulder the whole time. Yeah, now they're lazy. But the explosives that are going off, it is nonstop from about an hour before sunset until maybe an hour or two before sunrise. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. So I am completely confused, disoriented. I'm not sure what day it is. And if my alarm hadn't just dinged and reminded me that it's time to take the garbage out, I would not have even known that today is Monday. So, uh, to keep the dogs busy, I've been playing music fairly loudly and reading. Um, because anytime there's a noise, they climb on me and they had tangled up so much yarn that yeah, it's gonna no more knitting, no more crocheting, and of course cross stitch or sewing or anything was completely out of the question after they knocked a needle out of my hand, and in trying to find it, yeah, I sat on it. Ouch. So anyhow, been doing a lot of reading, a couple of books that were awful. I have this method of reading. There are so many books on my Nook and my Kindle and my want to read list and on the bookshelves and also audiobooks that I really want to read. So if I get to a book, if I get to a point in a book where I don't like the book, I will give it one more chapter, possibly two, if they're short chapters, to turn around and grab my attention again and make me like it again. And if that doesn't happen, put the book down. I don't have time to waste on bad books. And there was one it's fairly short, and I'm reading and I'm thinking, this is really bad. I cannot understand what is going on. It was very confusing. Um, Characters coming in and out that you never met before. All of a sudden, this person has also been staying in the same house. It's like, wait a minute, where did this person come from? You've never mentioned this person before. And uh, yeah, um, even the tense changed, sometimes within the same paragraph, past tense or present tense. It switched from first person to third person at random. It was awful. Terrible, terrible book. And so I figured I'll give it one more chapter, looked at the book, and realized there only were two more chapters. So I said, all right, well, let me see. It's a very short book. I'll just go ahead and read those two chapters. Took me about 15 minutes. And yeah, it was like um, I don't know if anybody else is as ancient as I am, but that big Who Shot JR thing and all that, and Bobby and all this, and it turned out to be a dream sequence, or the Roseanne one, where the whole last season was basically fiction that she was writing. Yeah, it's one of those like none of this was real. Um, one of the Twilight movies was like that. The last Twilight movie, I think, was the same way. It's like all this horrible stuff is happening, and then what? It's a vision. It didn't happen. So anyhow, I kind of knew that it was coming because I'd read the book, but still, it was like, no. In the book, it happened really, really fast. In the movie, it was the whole frickin' movie. So anyhow, yeah, that was a horrible book. On the other hand, I have read so many that this one is the Kindle and my Nook both need charging. So I pulled up an audiobook that I'm about almost done with, and had to back up a chapter to get caught up again because it's a pretty complex fantasy story and very long. And oh my God, this book is so good, absolutely good. I just the author's way of writing this story, and the narrator in the audiobook does a wonderful job. He's got this gorgeous, really sexy accent. Um, but the way that things are described, and this silent scene where he's creeping through the town, for example, I love that scene. That was a good one. Um, uh, you can the author uses every sense. You can smell the moat around the castle. Yeah, it's good. It's really, really good. The book, there should probably tell you the title and the author and so on of such. Shattered Dreams. It's the first book in the Light in the Dark series by Ulff Lehmann. He is in Germany, but he writes in English. Shattered Dreams is the book. Really good. I cannot recommend that enough. Go get it. It is, if you like fantasy, get this book. And the narrator is, who's the narrator? Narrated by Gareth Johnson. If you can find anything narrated by Gareth Johnson, get that too, because his voice is just so so fun to listen to. It's just like yeah. Okay, so that's enough about books. Um, like I said, I have not been knitting because the dogs have been terrified, but um, Friday, Friday, whatever it was, I decided to dye some yarn. So dyed 2 hanks of yarn. Love the way they kind of turned out. It's got speckles of purple with a peachy red, orange, tomatoey looking color, and lots of white left on it. Um, I can't wait to do something with this. I've got 220 grams of lace weight. It's very, very, very thin yarn. Very, very thin. Pardon my fingernails. I put the base coat on and then didn't polish them. But yeah, you can see it is lace weight, very thin. So I forgot how many meters it was, but it's 220 grams, a total of 800 and almost 900 meters, I think, like 450 meters per skein. So I need to come up with a pattern that will show off that yarn. I'm thinking something lacy and big, maybe maybe a really big shawl, or I don't know. I'll have to come up with something, but it is gorgeous. It is superwash wool, so A little bit easier to take care of than if it was just regular wool, and so soft. Oh, great. And yeah, can't wait to come up with a pattern to do with that. Uh, but first of all, I got to finish the sweaters that I am knitting. Pair of socks left to do, two pairs of socks left to do, um, and 3 sweaters. So yeah, the sweaters are almost done. The dogs are asleep. I should probably be knitting now while I'm listening to the rest of um, Ulff Lehmann's um, Shattered Dreams of that book. Anyhow, I just wanted to get this recorded and thrown up there because I haven't done it in a couple of days. Being asleep all day because I'm awake all night, uh, I'm sure I missed 2, maybe 3 days of posting videos. So yeah, I just wanted to check in and say, yeah, we're still here. Dogs are snoring over there because they are also exhausted. Maybe I can trim their toenails while they're asleep. Nah, they don't sleep that deeply. Okay, so I need to charge my Nook and charge my Kindle and continue listening to this story. Um, and maybe I'll get some knitting done while the dogs are asleep. So, ooh, forgot the fortune cookie. Oh well. Uh, yeah. Oh, and my science fiction shirt. I have to show off my science fiction shirt. It says coexist, and it's the Death Star and Stargate, and ooh, can't see it from here. Um, oh, that's a Romulan ship. I can't tell what that one is. Doctor Who's sonic screwdriver. Uh, yeah, I forget what that is. Um, oh, and then of course my favorite, Firefly. That's Serenity, which is the tattoo I want to get on my arm. So for my 60th birthday, I was going to get a tattoo, and since nothing was open, I'm going to do it um, for my daughter's birthday, which is coming up in 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And then a few days after my daughter's birthday is the first anniversary of my mom's death, and as is our family tradition, um, we will be having a memorial. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna have to get the tattoo before that. Uh, God, I can't believe it's been a year since she died. It was just like, it doesn't seem like it was a year. It really doesn't. Anyhow, uh, while the dogs are sleeping, I'm going to get back to the audiobook, and I'm going to pull out one of these sweaters and start knitting. All right, catch you later. This is Kelly, and this has been Isolation Protocol Day 91. Bye.